This tale is, as all bard songs are, an adaptation. It may contain adult themes and strong language. Welcome, dear listeners, to Abyss.
Welcome to episode 10 of Abyss. Who are you? What are you? And to celebrate National Farm Animal Day, what is your favourite farm animal? Starting with Shiraz.
Hello, I'm Shiraz, and I play the Dragonborn Ishidoro who likes to eat things and do science experiments. My favorite farm animal would have to be a cow, because I went to a dairy farm once and I was happily guiding what I thought to be a normal cow into the shed, and later on my guest told me that that was the cow that, broke their mum's leg, and it was nice with me, so, I like that cow. It didn't break my leg.
Good news. Wednesday?
Hi, I'm Wednesday and I play the Tiefling Layla. I promise that I don't actually enjoy hitting people with spades, but it does happen. My favorite farm animal, it's a toss-up between bunnies, because I love bunnies. They're adorable, especially if you put them in hats. Oh my gosh, rabbits in hats are just the cutest thing in the universe. And horses, because they're horses, man. I'm a girl, okay? I like horses. There we go.
Do horses suit hats?
No, they don't. Horses don't look great in hats. Like horses, it's all about the stallion, baby. You want to like this gorgeous, beautiful, muscular thing, like running in the wind kind of thing going on, yeah.
Fair enough. Tauno?
Hello, I am Tauno, and I play Rasthikos Thyreon, the human warrior, who, despite not technically being a noble anymore, still likes to give people orders and have them do as he tells them. Though Tauno's favourite farm animal, not Rasthikos's, would be, I think, the pig. Just because it is very clever, it is surprisingly clean, and grows far larger than you would expect. Also, we export a lot of pig from Denmark.
Well, personally.
I appreciate its sacrifice to our economy.
Ooh, yes, yum.
Right, okay. Dragon?
Hello, I am Nitra, a Drow sorcerer who tends to just pick up all the waifs and strays, but might end up torturing some Drow, so this will be interesting. My favourite farmyard animal would be goats, I think, because they're just as chaotic and mischievous as cats. And while I'm called Dragon, I am basically more like a cat with wings. I am very cat-like. So yes, I would go for goats.
So what you're saying is you're basically a goat with wings.
Sure.
If goats are basically cats.
In temperament, largely yes.
Interesting. And finally this week, Susie.
Hi, I'm Susie. I play 13, who is a goblin of extreme impulsiveness and honest opinions. And I don't really have a favourite farmyard animal because I've spent a lot of time with many farmyard animals, and as a good friend has already observed, they can sometimes be quite aggressive. I've been attacked by cockerels, I've been bowled over by pigs, I've been dragged about by sheep, and I've been chased around by cows. and kicked and bucked and all sorts of horrible things with horses. But I think my favourite one would be the chicken, because everybody thinks chickens are just these nice little things. But one of my favourite YouTube videos is there's this cat and it's hunting this mouse and it's doing this really slow, careful sneak up on this mouse, and then this chicken just comes from nowhere at the side and pecks the mouse to death and throws it around and then just starts eating it. And the cat is all stood there like, So, chickens are dinosaurs. Don't forget
that's what I was
that.
saying.
Yes, they are.
And they're
And we
brilliant.
eat them.
And we've bred them so that they lay 6 days out of 7. They have 1 day off a week. It's crazy.
Fair enough. No Nal this week because she's not feeling well, but everyone else is here, so let's carry on. What happened last week?
I honestly have the notes open already this time.
Yay.
Totally.
Every time I think I'm going to say, hey, do you want me to do it? And then I'm like, no, she's got it.
Hey, you can do it if you want.
No. I don't want to break tradition.
It's always me that ends up with this role. It's fine.
You're good at it.
I take notes. Okay, so we came into Krakoslav. The mud has dried and the stone buildings look burnt. The gem inside the barrel starts talking to us, and we try to, resist it as much as possible. We go in and we start looking around, and then we are caught by Daryl, who asks what we are doing in Thimberville. So apparently the dragon survived okay. So they drag us off to the dragon, basically so they can ask the dragon if they're allowed to kill us. So he refers to this lead one as Butler, and when he says he wants to kill us, the dragon whines to the mayor that they want to kill his servants, but they're his servants. So the rest of the Daryl are disappointed. And basically it turns out that Thembershod destroyed the city, destroyed the dwarves, and now is basically back in the same position with the Daryl. And what he wants is he wants his servants to clean him and give him scritches. We are not giving him scritches. So the demon gem then starts talking to Thembershod. He thinks that the mayor can give him it. So Ishidoro very cleverly plays that up into a fight between the mayor and the dragon, while Rasthikos and Layla drag Guzrun with them and run off to find the forge, and we try to keep as many of them distracted as possible, including Ishi creating a light under the robes of the mayor, making it look like he was hiding the gem, which was quite impressive. But yes, eventually they managed to break the demon gem, and between us we managed to get out of the city, leaving the mayor to have to answer to a rather petulant dragon.
Okay, fair enough. So, at the end of last week, I asked you if you wanted to go basically up to the giant mushroom or down to Sliptydip, but you didn't really come to a conclusion. So, after a couple of hours of debating, you decide, after consulting everyone, including Stool, who asks to go back to the giant mushroom, you decide to go to the giant mushroom. So, as you're setting off towards this massive, massive mushroom, you ask Stool why he wanted to go there. He basically tells you that that's where Basidia went.
Ah, okay. How does he know that's where Basidia went?
Because Basidia told you where she was going. But again, I think all of you just sort of went, all right, okay, you're going to the mushroom by where we're off by.
Also, the mushroom is huge too. Like, it spreads all over. There's the big mushroom. So
Yeah, this is the big mushroom that was going to be part of the wedding.
Right.
So, as this mushroom gets closer to you, you realise how actually big this mushroom is. It's gigantic. It must stretch at least 50 miles easily. It's gigantic mushroom. It covers like a fair quarter of the Underdark. And as you get close to this edge, you notice a group of myconids sort of bouncing around and sort of channeling something that look like they're casting something at the mushroom. What do you do?
I just had the frightful realization that we were told that the bride was inside the mushroom, right? and we went in to look for her.
That was the other one.
What if the mushroom itself is the bride?
That's what I thought originally, that the mushroom was the bride.
13 went inside and chopped off some bits of the bride, and we ate some. I mean, that's on brand for me, but...
Delicious. 13, I'm pretty sure, still has some bits of mushroom in her pockets.
Mushroom wall, yeah.
She brings one out and starts eating it as they walk up towards the big mushroom.
Oh my god.
And she's decided she's going to ride on Layla's shoulders today.
Yeah, no worries.
Can we hear anything as they're channeling stuff in our heads? Like, Kiko?
You can't hear anything at the moment. You do recognise the mushroom in the middle as Basidia.
Okay.
Could I do an Arcana check to see if I recognise whatever it is that they are throwing?
Yep. Roll. It seems to be some kind of healing magic.
Okay. That is interesting. Stool, can you speak to any of them yet?
Let's see what happens when Stool tries to talk. Stool tries to communicate. Basidia's eyes shoot open, but the rest of them stay sort of hunched over. She sort of waddles her way out of the group and sort of looks up at the cart with all of you on it, and all of you hear in your head, "What are you doing here?"
We bought Stool back?
She sort of looks around as if trying to work out where he is, and then sees him sort of contained in the bandolier and goes, "You have him hostage?"
No. Stool's a friend. That's right, Stool, isn't it?
Stool contentedly beams yes. "Well, get down from there. You shouldn't be that close to them."
You were happy for him to come with us.
Yeah, and like he's seen some stuff, so you might not want to mind meld, but just saying.
For a couple of seconds, Stool and Basidia sort of like intermittently glow as if they're having a conversation with each other that none of you can hear. And then Basidia turns back to you and goes, "So, Stool tells me that you came from the grotto."
Yes.
Yes.
What happened?
It did not go well for Philo.
What do you mean?
It was a demon.
Around the others, like
He turned into a demon. He was taken over by some evil energy, and he is no longer, because we destroyed the demon's form, and that's what happened. I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm certain that, Stool could grant you a more complete description.
While
Stool?
Ishidoro was describing demons, Layla was trying very hard to sort of hide herself.
With 13 on her shoulders.
Yeah, with 13 on her shoulders, because she is Tiefling, so she's feeling really awkward and like responsible, even though she didn't do anything.
Pulling the cloak up and just having 13's like arms and head pop out of the front of it while your body's behind it.
Yeah.
If I notice this and I notice Basidia again, like, no, not that kind of demon, like evil demon.
Can 13 pull the cloak around so it looks like 13's the head on this really tall body?
So Basidia sort of looks 13 up and down and looks at Ishi, then looks back and goes, "Stool tells me something about Eric cuddling Philo."
Yeah, have you heard the name Glabagoo? Does it ring a bell?
After a couple of seconds, she just shakes her head.
Okay, well, Stool has made a friend who may or may not be a giant jelly that helped us get rid of Philo's condition. Unfortunately, Philo didn't survive the process.
A giant jelly?
Yeah.
a very large green cube.
And she sort of looks at Stool and again sort of pulses a bit. And Stool sort of happily give a sort of ta-da! Look. Basidia just shakes her head and then looks at the back of the rest of you and goes, "So what happened to the rest of my people? Did they run for somewhere else when Philo died?"
No. They're just standing there, I'm afraid. We couldn't move them.
They appeared to be in shock, but they were completely non-responsive to either us or to Stool.
So we came here.
She again sort of pulses at Stool, and Stool just starts clapping. And again she just sort of seems looking at Stool with just sort of, what the fuck? And then she looks back at the rest of you and says, He seems happy.
Yeah, it's weird to me too.
Is him being happy a problem for you?
He seems far happier than he would be.
Would be for what?
Would be.
Well, if you had just found out one of your kin had died, would you not be sad?
I am the wrong person to ask that of. Many of my kin have died in many worse ways than being eaten by a jelly.
I see your point, but I don't know. Stool's Stool. He's happy to see his friend, Eric, whom we know very little about, and we were hoping you could fill in the blank.
He also says something about Philo became something else.
Yes.
Yes. When Philo was consumed by Eric, he transformed into a demonic form before the cube's internal acid rendered that form inert, transforming soul gem.
So
Which we then
Philo wasn't Philo?
No,
No.
he was not.
Not at the end. Oh.
Also, your snail friend is gone.
What do you mean, gone?
Like, ceased to
Istrapod
exist.
was his name?
Yes,
Something. Yes.
Ceased to exist.
I'm afraid he has not survived the turmoil.
He seemed lost the last time I spoke to him.
I think theory states that he was possessed first and then somehow corrupted Philo.
But
Why'd
it
you say
also
that?
Because when we met him, he was strange, and Philo was okay. And when we met Philo next, he was strange and was dead.
At this point, one of the Myconids starts screaming, and Cydia turns round to see the rest of them all sort of patting him out as he seems to be melting from some black goo that seems to have landed on top of him.
what
Is
is
everything
that?
okay?
As the Myconid slowly sort of melts into a puddle and more of the Myconids back away, they begin chanting again with the same sort of distraction as they were before. Cydia turns back to the rest of you and says, "Well, it's our great ally, Arumsios," and she gestures to the mushroom above you, "has been under attack from this large, sort of black-green ooze. It is consuming him slowly.
Oh dear.
Oh,
It has been consuming him for the past few days, but although even up to yesterday he seemed to just lie back and accept this fate, I guess, he seems to have woken up in the last day or so, and he's been much more striking back and releasing spores, and the ooze is beginning to, well, melt, I guess. But as it melts, it lands upon us and begins burning through us."
can I look up and identify where this ooze is? Can I, visually see it?
You look up, and you see... The platform you're on, you can't really see much, you can just see this giant mushroom. Basidia tells you to follow, and she sort of waddles off, and as all of you sort of follow along, she leads you up a short winding path that you're a lot higher ground, so you can see, and you see in front of you the site of this gigantic mushroom that again must cover 50 miles easily out in front of you, and as it gets to about halfway, like a sort of semicircle, there's this gigantic black ooze just sort of slowly absorbing and devouring the mushroom.
Stool, can you... I don't think it is, but can you just make sure that isn't Eric?
Okay. He just turns round, and then he sort of seems to sort of glow slightly. Then he comes back saying, "No, that's not friend Eric."
Okay, is that a bad thing?
He just nods, and Basidia tells you that is a demon,
Okay.
and it has
Do
been
not
consuming the mushroom for the last few days.
Would you like our help?
She sort of gestures to the ooze itself, and she says, "It is melting slowly. I mean, Rumsios has started releasing spores that is causing it to melt. The only problem is that when it melts, it's devouring the land around it when it melts. And any of my kin found under it are just melted with it."
Can 13 go do an alchemy check on the...
Yes.
Sweet.
It's very similar to the oozes you've encountered before. It just seems highly acidic.
Would salt have an effect on it, like the other stuff?
Some salt would, yes.
So, holy salt.
Well, you don't have any holy salt left, but...
Yeah, we kind of left it behind.
Can we get more?
Where would you get it from?
We asked Basidia. Basidia, do you have, by any chance, knowledge of where we could get more salt?
Salt? No. We have no salt nearby.
Was the lake not salt water?
I think it's got stuff in it, but it's not salt. All we have is the cauldrons.
Cauldrons, you say?
Cauldrons?
What's in the cauldrons?
She sort of gestures down and you see there's like cauldrons positioned along like a wall at the side, and it seems to be keeping the ooze from spreading around the side, and they're sort of bubbling away. They're the ones you saw before, the sort of bubble, the sort of weird green gas.
What are they creating this time?
They bubble with a strong alkali.
Alkali.
So it's going to burn it. I see.
In the absence of salt.
Maybe we should get it blessed.
Yazram, you up for a dance?
What do you want me to do?
Bless those cauldrons and all the liquid therein.
Oh, right, well, I don't really know if it'll want me adding cider to it.
Can I roll alchemy to see if that would affect the concoction?
Could always sprinkle cider around the outside.
You vaguely remember that cider typically is a sort of more acidic than alkaline. Not by much, but it is slightly more acidic.
Probably don't want to do that.
So we have mushroom wine? Could that be substituted for cider?
Basidia sort of gives you an awkward look of mushroom wine.
Don't say anything. Can we go back to the cart and see if we can find anything?
Yeah, okay.
The city, I know we were drinking alcohol made from mushrooms. Like their relation.
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, going back to the cart.
So you return back to the cart. What do you want to do?
Okay, how are we going to...
Well, all the salt that we had is left back in Embershard, and I don't want to go see the Darrow, our esteemed master again.
No, definitely not. I don't have any extra items that would be useful.
Could we... The cauldrons are keeping the jelly from spreading. Could it be used to maybe push it off if we started moving the cauldron?
You could try.
Moving the cauldrons closer to Artemisia.
Yeah, and kind of like trying to maybe use them to push the slime off so that it's not attached to something and eating it.
At this point, you feel the ground around you rumble, and there's this, like, sensation, and you notice all these little orange spores just shooting into the air above you and beginning to sort of gently dust down on top of the black slime.
13, covers her lower face with some cloth.
Well, I'm already covered. Yep. So I'm fine.
What would I have to roll to identify what these spores are? Like, if they have any special quality?
Possibly alchemy? Actually, nature. Nature if you got it.
I don't have nature.
13 does.
Do you know what these do?
Yep. 13 is aware that they are a defense mechanism from the gigantic mushroom, and they are designed to basically dry up the slime.
That makes sense. So, if we were to get dirt and throw it at it, it might be something that would absorb the slime, since it's wet slime.
That would be good.
This is not meant as a slight, but this is a very large mushroom. If this slime is a threat enough for this mushroom to be defending itself, it is a very large mushroom. What impact could the five of us do with handfuls of sawdust?
We could always try setting fire to it.
That is a possibility. But we might set the mushroom on fire as well, and that may not be so good. We also have the help of a lot of stools fellows here.
Yes.
I mean, maybe the five of us won't be able to do much, but if we work together, we could do something.
Before we commit to any course of action, is anyone else reminded of the Pudding King with this slime?
Yes.
Oh yes, very much.
Yep.
In fact, I would be very surprised if Eric is not willing to provide some help for this as well.
That's a possibility.
Ishidoro, As our resident demon expert, would you be surprised to see two demon factions fight one another?
No, I don't think demons have love anything more than themselves, so it's fair to say that any other demon on their path would be as much an enemy as anyone else.
Because I am quite suspicious as to why it has only been within the last day that the defense mechanisms have started up.
It could be because we destroyed
the stone that held the demonic Philo's essence.
That is a possibility.
But does that imply that the mushroom is corrupted or has been freed corruption?
I would say, just by general guess, it was freed because it's starting to act up and defend itself.
But as you say, were it corrupted, it might be resisting a rival demon.
Possible. I'd have to look at it closely. Actually, that's one thing I do want to do is, I've been thinking about this for a while, but first we fought the Pudding King, who I didn't see any pattern with, apart from the fact that he was super childish or greedy. And then we fought the Sloth Demon, and then the other one was trying to appeal to our collective pride. I see some connection, and I want to see if we can find out what this one's all about. And if I had to guess, I'd have to take a look at it. So I'm gonna go up and try and get closer to the slime if possible, without putting myself in harm's way, and see if it speaks to me in some way or the other.
Okay, are you just gonna run across the top of the giant mushroom?
Yeah,
I would like to
run.
come with you, please.
Okay. If you see me acting weird, or if I see you acting weird, I'm gonna pull you back and you do the same.
Of course. I sit stool down and tell the whale rat to stay there.
You trained that thing.
Is there some sort of almost like cover from the spores that are being released into the...
Not really, no.
Not really,
Well, you can sort
no.
of stand under the mushroom so it doesn't sort of rain down as much onto you.
Okay, I'm going to walk 13 under the mushroom.
That's fine.
I mean, the whole thing with 13 and Layla doesn't look terrifying at all. Like a 9 foot tall goblin who's like just wandering around.
Face half covered, suggesting you set stuff on fire.
Okay, I'm gonna roll demonology
Okay.
and see if I can. So I'm gonna try and call out to it and see if it responds.
To the black ooze.
Yes, and I'm going to think out loud to it, and I'm going to say, "Oh, demon of blood," and see if it responds.
Okay. Natural 20. You
Oh.
call out to the black ooze. What do you want to say to it?
I just say, "Oh, demon of gluttony, if you are here, speak to me."
Okay. As you call it out, you hear a incredibly high-pitched screech.
Like cover my ears and kind of fall to my knees. Is it like aloud or is it in my head?
It's out loud.
Okay. So that's a response. I start like kind of moving backwards.
As you sort of look at the slime, you do notice that the more the spores are landing in it, the more it is drying up. But you'd expect it drying up to look less wet. Instead of it seems to be like liquefying.
Okay.
So it's kind of like adding salt to ice. It's kind of slowly melting.
That's why it's dropping on.
It's losing its ability to keep clinging onto the mushroom. It's slowly like beginning to slide off the mushroom.
But it's poisoning the ground, isn't it?
It seems to be pulling into quite a large like green-black pool, but it doesn't seem to be able to hold on to the mushroom, so it's like slowly sliding down the sort of edge of the mushroom that it sort of consumed everything up to.
Can 13 take a bottle and try and, like, carefully, like, hop off Layla's shoulders and, like, can she go and, like, try and catch a sample in an empty bottle?
Yep. I assume 13 is educated enough in how to take samples, so she doesn't need to roll for that.
Yes.
She was the health and safety officer at the Necroman.
Oh yeah, she was always doing lab work. So she'll get a sample and then like bring it back so they can have a look at it.
Okay.
So I have confirmed that it's in pain.
You return to basically where you were before. All of you are now back to the car effectively, and Basidia comes out of a sort of trance with the rest of them and says, "It is calling. Can you hear it?" And the high-pitched screech sounds again.
Calling to what?
She sort of tilts her head as if, like, not sure what you mean.
What is calling?
The ooze. It is calling.
What
Can
is
you not
it
hear
saying?
it? It's
We
calling.
can't-
It's calling for its kin. It's. Oh my! And then the screech goes again. Only it sounds far more desperate this time. And she sort of looks a bit left, right, and goes, It's melting. And again the screech one more time, just incredibly desperate, incredibly, like, obviously harsh and in pain. And it goes, "It's a torrent of insults. It's screaming moron and moronic, and there's a word I
13's
don't,
gonna
there's a word I
lift the
don't
bottle
recognize
to-
amongst this.
What are the words that you do not understand?
Glabagool?
Oh, we have
Oh
heard
dear.
that name before.
Well, whatever the voice is screaming, it's calling it a moron and an idiot, and that it's all its fault.
Glabagol is a demon that we heard of further north. But
When we first ran into Eric,
yes,
Stool did.
yes. We do not know if Eric is the enemy of Glabagol or Eric is Glabagol. But yes, Glabagol appears to be some kind of demon.
Well, it appears to be family of this demon. Well, that's what the demon's calling it anyway.
Well, demons fighting each other is not that unusual.
The screech happens again, only the pitch this time is far lower.
Oh, jeez.
Looks like it's losing power. 13. Wanna do a science experiment?
Always!
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh my.
So, you said, and I look at the city and I said, those cauldrons have alkali, some kind of alkali mixture.
Yes, strong alkali.
Is it okay if we borrow some of it? Just a little bit.
I guess so.
Okay. I'm going to go and try and get a vial of that. Almost equivalent in whatever sample 13 has acquired.
Okay.
And then see what happens if we pour a little bit on each other, like mix
Okay. Roll. Add your alchemy.
alchemy. Hopefully we won't create another bottomless pit of acid.
Are we both rolling since we're both doing?
Sure. So you
No, not
pour,
so much!
You pour the ooze out, then you pour the alkali onto it. The alkali literally melts all of the ooze and just leaves a sort of oddly clear-looking liquid.
Ta-da!
We got what we need. We can
13's
make
gonna
this.
hold the clear liquid up to her ear to see if it's still talking.
You hold the clear liquid up, you sort of shake it, it looks just like standard clear liquid.
Okay. I think we know one way to get rid of this thing.
She holds the bottle up to Ishidoro and is like, "You should drink this!
Okay.
For science!"
I drink it.
Roll.
Oh my gosh.
Roll.
Like one of these experiments is gonna kill me, so or just a D20.
Yep.
That's my favorite kind.
It's slightly alkaline tasting water. As in, slightly salty water.
Slightly salty.
Okay, we need everyone to help on this. And I go back and I call to everyone and I say we can speed up the process by throwing what's in the cauldrons on that thing. Because it turns it into water and salt.
Okay. Do we just
So-
need to tip the cauldrons over? Because I can do that.
We'd need to like carry it to the point and then just like wash the mushroom, I suppose.
We need buckets
We also need buckets, yes.
and
How big are
gloves.
the cauldrons?
Bigger than 13.
The cauldrons are quite big.
Bigger.
They're about like your standard like massive like soup pot, but like for
Oh,
like a
yeah.
the kind of size one you'd get for like a mess hall. So they're like massive. Yeah,
Is it
they're
like
about
one
the
of
same
those
height as
ash-
you and about the same width as if you put your arms out.
It's like one of
Yeah,
those
so
Asterix
between-
and Obelix ones.
Between Rasthikos and I, we should be able to carry them, though, quite easily.
They are full, but you could probably drag them between the two of you. Yes, if you both
I mean-
drag it.
What if we all do it? Like, help.
Or you buckets.
Because, I mean, we are pretty strong.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. I mean, there's more we need to experiment. So, try one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if all of you roll your strength to try and pull this cauldron along.
Whoops. That's
Natural 1 plus 61 is still a natural 1.
yeah.
There's a lot of Chuckle Brothers going on here. To me, to you.
I have not been rolling well for my strength, despite it being my best stat.
So everyone else pulls the cauldron with no problem. Rasthikos sprains his back a bit.
Oh my god.
I don't notice this on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not laughing in character. My character is feeling bad, thinking that maybe he hurt himself because she hit him with a shovel.
Oh, trouble gets
It's
us.
impaired his physical abilities.
So Rasthikos is basically standing to the side, sort of like trying to sort of stretch his back out as he's feeling like he's twinged it. The cauldron itself is on the edge of this massive pool of black greeny goo that seems to have dripped off the side of the mushroom. What do you want to do?
Slowly tipping it over and pouring it so as to carefully remove the black tar from it.
Okay. Well,
I
one
think
of you
Layla
roll and choose who you want to roll, and one of you roll.
I think Layla should roll. It's just the strongest.
Okay. Did it work?
Yep.
Yes!
You pour this liquid all over the green pool. There is a deafening shriek that's just as loud, and Stool is literally starting to panic because of how loud the shriek is. The water goes into the pool, seems to neutralise like a fair majority of the black and green goo. All of the goo at the side seems to have like sort of pulled in, like it's trying to retreat away from the liquid. So there's now about half a pool of this black green goo that's slowly morphing into the clear liquid.
Is it taking a shape or is it just amorphic?
It's like it's trying to get into a shape, but it can't reform solidly.
I just start saying, buckets. We need buckets.
Buckets.
And I start screaming as I run away, and I say,
No, haven't I just emptied the cauldron? Can't we just collect it in this cauldron that's empty?
I stop running and I go,
Doesn't that make sense?
that makes sense. But still, buckets, and I'm going to go try and find a bucket.
Okay, so then I'm going to collect the water, I guess, with the cauldron.
Okay. So how are you going to get the water from the sort of pool into the cauldron?
Oh dear. I was gonna say, I was gonna take my skirt off and like collect the water in it and then like pour it into the cauldron like that. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
You could do that. Imagine you're tilting the cauldron up first.
Yes.
You'd have to try and find a way to climb up the side of the cauldron while holding your sort of skirt in that way.
Yeah. That could be really awkward. You have something like acrobatics.
Yeah, acrobatically get the water into the cauldron.
Yeah, acrobatically get it. Like, just do the thing.
Just
with
kick it and it'll go up and in, yeah.
Conjuring. I don't know.
Is there a role for physics and logic?
Is there a role for reverse gravity?
In the meanwhile, I'm just running downstairs and I'm just looking at the mushrooms and going, bucket.
Don't have like a straw or something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think the straw. If she'll start drinking it, then throwing it up into the...
Yeah, I don't think I can survive that one.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm thinking of it in terms of like almost using it as like what we need is like a suction pump, like a pipe, and then you can like get the water to flow up the pipe. You can if you use suction.
Does that not
You
only
mean-
work? Does that not only work if
Like
where
people
you're
do with
putting it into
petrol.
is lower than where you're taking it from?
You mean like
No,
siphoning
I don't-
petrol out of a
Yes, like
gas?
siphoning petrol. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that.
Yes,
No,
because when you are
No, but
when
we
you are-
need to find a thingy to do that with.
I'm still shouting bucket. Anyone, bucket.
The Myconids have no concept of what a bucket is.
I tried to explain to them by drawing on the ground with a stick.
we need
Let's
a
see.
container.
Let's see, what do the Myconids do? The Myconids bring you basically like a sort of C-shaped object.
A bowl?
Is it passable as a bowl?
No, it's just a C-shaped object. They don't understand the term bowl either.
Oh jeez.
Container.
Let's see, do they understand the term container? Nope.
How have they lived?
Oh my gosh. No, but they're mushrooms. Maybe they absorb the stuff from the ground.
No, we've seen Stu eating stuff. Okay, so no bucket. Is the barrel left over? I know they didn't smash the barrel.
You didn't take the barrel with you.
Damn it. Gazram, do you have a hat? Like, does Gazram have a hat?
Gazram goes, well, I've only got me cloth hat and it's got a hole in the top.
I don't think a hat is quite going to do it.
Yeah, we need to, like, either get... Okay, I think we need to pour more of that stuff onto it. So, we might need to get another cauldron up here.
Okay.
Okay. Are you going to move the cauldron up to the remainder of the black ooze?
Yes. We're gonna try and get it there before it starts forming into something bad.
Okay. So, who's all moving the cauldron?
Everyone.
I'll try again.
I shall let the strong people try.
I will help.
Oh wow, that was a terrible roll.
Rasthikos, your time to shine. Oh yes!
Oh my gosh. Obviously I'm so focused on this.
After doing his stretches, Rasthikos manages to move the cauldron for you this time.
Prep work.
Yep. So, the cauldron is now on the edge of the ooze. The ooze is still frantically trying to form, and it just keeps it's like someone trying to build a castle out of water. It's like shoving it in and it's just dispersing as quickly as it's shoved together.
Time to go meet your family, and then nice 80s action line afterwards.
Okay, let's see what happens when you pour the water. You pour the water in, there's a fizzing sound and another deafening shriek, and there's like almost steam flies off this creature, and as the air begins to clear, left lying at the bottom of this pool of water is an orange gem.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Does one of us have to go in to get it?
I ask for somebody's sword, like if they could give me another one. Oh no, we have something perfect. Layla, you have a shovel.
Yes, I do have a shovel.
Can you scoop it up?
Scoop it up? Yeah, can I? Do I need to roll to scoop it up?
Are you gonna pick it up from the bottom of the pool with it? I mean, it's about maybe a meter underwater at this point.
With a shovel, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Jeez.
So you're now standing sort of knee deep in this water, holding your shovel out full with this pulsing, angry looking orange gem with runes written down the sides of it. It's the same size as the one you've got before, maybe about 6 to 8 inches in length.
Okay. Can I roll demonology to read the runes?
You can, yes.
Oh, wow.
You try and read the runes, all you read as you go, this just talks about food.
Wow.
It was trying to devour a giant mushroom.
Is it like a menu?
13's going to grab a bit of cloth and sort of duck under the water and wrap the gem up in the cloth and pick it up.
Okay. Yep. You sort of wrap it in cloth in a way that you've got handles, so you're not actually touching the gem itself. And as you sort of come back at the top of the water with this gem in this cloth bag you've made, immediately everyone feels this sensation of, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, when did I last eat? Oh, God, I'm hungry. And it sort of pulses stronger and stronger the closer you are to the bag.
We need to smashy!
Yeah, is there a holy place nearby?
Gazram pipes up with it. Well, we could always go back to Crackleslow.
No.
No, thank you.
Well, the next holy place from that is in Sloop-de-Doop, I think.
You mean what formerly was known as Sloop-de-Doop?
What do you mean?
Sloop-de-Doop, I think, does not survive.
Oh.
The holy place might, but...
The holy place might, but
if that's away and you don't want to go back to Crackleslow, then the next place to have it is Gravenhollow.
Oh.
Which is where the stone...
Is that closer than Gortlegrim?
We have kind of come back around on ourselves.
Yeah,
by coming up to Artemisia.
Why would we not simply just destroy the gem in Gortlegrim?
Well, Gortlegrim is about 4 or 5 days away now.
We can't get around to it easily from here, I think. This is very annoying. Our best bet might be to see if Sloop-de-Doop still has its holy place. But where was it you said after that?
Well, if Sloop-de-Doop's not got one, then it'll be up in Gravenhollow.
And we are going to the libraries of Gravenhall, so...
Oh yeah, we're going down there. I mean, the giants have got to have something, right?
Yes. But the sooner we get rid of this gem, the better, I think.
Yeah, because I'm really hungry.
Me too.
Yeah, don't talk to me about eating.
Therese carefully hides all of the dangerous things so Ishi cannot eat them.
I kind of asked the group, didn't the mushrooms have a holy sacred garden last time? The one that was burned down? I'm sure they have one here too. It could pass off as a holy place.
Yeah, sacred garden, that might work.
You're not really in the mushroom place, you're just kind of at the foot of the gigantic mushroom.
Yeah, I mean, they built a home here, so they must have some... It wouldn't hurt us to ask them before, they eat us all out of hunger.
So you return to the cart, and Basidia is there and asks you what became of the ooze.
Well, liquidized it and it turned into this thing, and don't look at it too long, it's bad.
Same thing as what happened with Philo.
So Basidia sort of seems to tilt her head and look at the thing, and then immediately just has this sort of lack of energy expression of just, oh.
It seems us all hungry. Basidia, do you have a holy place nearby? Something that is blessed by gods or something?
Basidia tells you that they basically have no such place.
I see.
Oh well.
Their way of celebrating the gods was to basically keep plants growing and keep the garden welcoming and so on. They don't seem to have anything like that here.
They might not have been here long enough to do so.
Yeah.
She tells you that she's planning to return to Netherlight Grotto.
You should. It's in need of repair and your people are there. Before you go, is there a possibility that you know what a bucket is?
A bucket?
She sort of tilts her head at you and goes, actually, let's see, does she know what a bucket is? Let's see.
I am imagining
She does know what a bucket is.
Yes!
She tells you it's a flower.
Indication.
And I was do you have one of those so we can carry this thing around?
She tells you that she doesn't have anything that similar, no.
Can you make it?
I don't think it's necessarily going to help us that much.
I know, but I would be happier if that thing was at the bottom of a bucket full of alcohol.
Well, true.
Let's see. She basically gets the Myconus together and they sort of weave you together a sort of very makeshift bucket.
Can I hold water in it? Can I hold
It's about 80% watertight, as in the water will run out eventually, but it'll hold for a couple of days.
Okay, yeah. So fill up a bucket full of the liquid from the cauldrons. Get a bunch of vials full of it. Ask 13 to do as much as possible as well, just in case we run into any other jellies that need liquidizing.
Yes.
And then dunk the thing, cloth and all, into it.
Okay.
Hopefully. Does
So
it get
you've now-
weaker when
now
you put it
got a-
inside?
You've now got a bucket full of this. Are you using the strong alkali or are you using the
Super
weak one?
strong.
Okay, so you're putting this bucket and this gem inside there. It occasionally bubbles every so often from inside.
13 would also like to suggest making a lid for the bucket.
I
We
think
we could just stretch some cloth over it and then tie it tight.
Yeah.
That would be an easy way of doing it.
Can I roll demonology to see if it's become weaker?
Roll. It's not really lost any power, it's still sort of pulsing out this sort of hunger and apathy vibes of all of you begin to feel the insatiable hunger.
I guess we better try Sloop-de-Doop faster. Or we can just go to... How far away did you say the other place was, Gazra?
Draco Slow is about half a day's journey, Sloop-de-Doop is about a day.
Mm-hmm.
It might have to be a day for Sloop-de-Doop.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not going to be a good day.
We need to get out of here. We're surrounded by mushrooms.
Yeah, before...
Yes.
Yes, let's go. Bye, everybody.
Just before jumping on the cart, I check with Stool if he wishes to come with us or to stay here.
The were-rat is happy to see you again. Stool's very happy to come with you. He doesn't really want to go back to Netherlight Grotto. He says he doesn't really have anything there anymore. He does tell you that friend Eric is very concerned.
What is he concerned about?
He is concerned what you're doing with Papa.
Papa? Who is Papa?
Ah, fuck.
Oh my gosh.
You know how the big old slime that we just made a gem out of said that Glavagool was family?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, it's a good thing we got all these bottles of strong alkali so Papa can come get some.
So, is Eric concerned because we saved the mushroom from the demon?
Or maybe...
Stool, can you ask him, please?
Stool looks has a faraway look in his eyes at the moment.
Yeah, I think we're connecting the dots here. I'd be happier once this gem isn't turned into powder.
We might end up with Eric after us.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Eric might not have been entirely altruistic when he...
Well, no.
What would make you
Melted?
think he was?
I
Well-
thought he was a giant gelatinous cube.
that melted demons and for some reason had the ability to speak psionically with our mushroom friend.
I don't know. It seemed very much like Eric was a demon from the get-go.
It did, yes. It definitely did.
And why would you trust a demon? And then I cover my horns with my hair.
Look,
Because
we know you're not bad.
Because, my
Layla.
dear, even the worst possible creatures can sometimes work to your advantage if you have the same goal. Just never forget that allies are temporary.
I'm certain Eric thought the same thing when he led us out of that temple.
But of course.
I mean,
So, my apologies. I forget that some of you have come from a kinder world.
yeah, I was gonna say we're kind of allies right now.
Yes.
Okay. Let's all agree that demons, those specific ones, like the ones that talk into your head and that try to eat giant mushrooms and that try to send you to sleep and do horrible things, have nothing to do with Layla.
Agreed.
And whatever happens, these demons have to go. If Eric comes to us, and that may be the case, we throw one of these bottles at him. And I hold up a bottle of strong alcohol. And we keep throwing it until he meets the same fate as Papa.
Or you run out of bottles.
Maybe we should go back and get more.
If he attacks us, then of course he is fair game.
For now, let's
So how many-
concentrate on what.
How many bottles do you have, just so I know?
Can we roll for them?
You can just tell me.
20!
20, okay.
Oh, wow.
So you have
And how-
20 vials of the strong alkali.
Are they vials or bottles?
What?
How- How big are the bottles?
It's like one of those like traditional healing potions that like got a
Okay.
bulb at the bottom and narrow.
Okay,
kind
so they're about... Let's say they're about half a pint in size, so let's say they're about 275 mil, so yeah, okay.
I mean, let's not worry about Eric right now. We'll cross that bridge when we get.
He cannot be particularly close. I think.
Yeah.
Has Stool reacted to this conversation?
Stolt is still sort of staring far away, then he sort of comes to and says, Eric says, tell Papa he's sorry.
We'll be
I
sure to do that.
certainly we shall tell him that. Why was Papa attacking the mushroom?
And he goes back into this trance-like state. A couple of minutes later he comes back one more time and goes, Eric says because he wanted to eat him.
Fair.
Well,
What?
that is a reasonable answer, yes.
He
I mean,
sort of
I eat.
grins stupidly and says, Papa was always hungry.
Yes, I think I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, let's get moving.
And
Yes.
I pat the side of the bucket, and be like, Eric says he is sorry, but you went after something that was just too big to eat this time.
Can everyone do me a d20, please, to see how the gem responds to this?
Oh dear.
Okay,
Oh.
only Rasthikos is affected. There's this massive, wave of hunger. He, buckles to his knees, and he just has this sensation like his stomach's crying out for food. It's like he's been starving for days. Oh yeah, I do have to roll for Gazram. That's very true. Gazram is also affected, and he just turns to you and goes, "Bloody hell, when's the last time we eaten? I haven't eaten in days."
Don't you remember we just ate yesterday? Actually, a couple of hours ago, I meant to say.
Did we?
Now, Papa.
I'm starving. Where's that lichen? And he starts raking around in the back of the cart for food.
I take over driving duties and start moving the cart along.
Okay.
I sharply tell Papa, behave, or we'll do worse things than smash this gem.
Everyone do a roll again.
Oh dear. Stop talking to me.
Oh my gosh.
At 20. I am sated.
Rasthikos has managed to satiate himself after that big wave of hunger. All of you seem to be fine for it. What's Gazram like? Let's see. Yeah, even Gazram's fine. But that second wave wasn't as powerful.
Okay. New rule. We don't talk to the bucket.
Cold silence returns. The waters lay still, for this week at least. Join us again next week for more of our tale. This podcast is an adaptation of Out of the Abyss, a 5th edition D&D adventure. It was adapted from the original story by Nikolai Popsky. The podcast features Nikolai, Dragon, Shiraz, Freya, Susie Q, Tauno, and Wednesday LeFay. All music was written and performed by Daniel Boström. Artwork was by John Moore. And if you, dear listener, wish to acquire your own sets of finest metal or acrylic adventuring dice, then journey through the Underdark to dndice.co.uk and speak the name Penance RPG at the checkout for a 5% discount off your order. Farewell and Godspeed, for we fear the madness is closing in. Good night out there, whatever you are. Ha 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 ha.